Hello everybody, it's The Worm. Welcome back to Steins Gate. I'm here for a late night recording session. I could have waited for tomorrow, but I really wanted to just sort of continue on. I've been waiting for it all day, really. The last time we got quite a few of my questions answered, it would seem. Of course, a lot of that is based upon what a one Mr. John Titor has told us. And, there is something to be said about whether or not we should be trusting an anonymous internet person. So, obviously, I think we should take what he says with a grain of salt. Just a grain. But he raised some interesting ideas. Talked about it last time. And it's certainly one of the more unique things that I've not heard of before. This idea of attractor fields and convergence, divergence, fate, all that sort of stuff. I definitely can see that those sorts of ideas getting a lot of attention here. And of course, right at the end, we had a bit of a bomb dropped on our boy Rintaro. Mr. Titor said, "So yeah, here's an explanation for all your questions. Oh, you're also the Messiah." So, clearly, well, the thing is, Rintaro has clearly had some things that are extraordinary occur to him. He's seen what appears to have been a case of someone dead rising and being alive again. He's seen instances where he seems to have transferred timelines. He can't deny that there's something kind of insane going on here, and as he's trying to figure this out, he gets this dropped on him. Oh yeah, you're the Messiah. And this is all, of course, happening to a person who I'm not sure why he's developed this character. I know it's a trope and it's a thing in some of these sorts of stories, the Chunibyo thing. I'm sure. Well, I'm not sure, but I'm assuming there's a reason why he made this character in the first place, and it's stuck with him so long. But nonetheless, he has this character, and it's he uses this character as a filter. He's not really genuine with people. Everything he says, all of his actions, it has to be filtered through this character. And this character happens to have wouldn't you know, a kind of, well, is it a Messiah complex? Maybe, maybe not. He seems to be, it's the mad scientist that'll bring chaos to the world, right? And that kind of sounds bad, but the way he frames it, he's fighting against this, in his mind, he's fighting against this evil organization, right? So in a sense, I think he sees himself as a kind of savior. And so he's had these crazy things occur to him. He has this character through which to filter all this through, and now someone comes along and is just outright sort of, what would you say, affirming this sort of thing. So I'm curious how he's going to react to this, because it's clearly affecting him. Will he sort of go off the deep end and kind of just embrace it, or will he pull back and maybe shed some of that character? I'm not sure. I'm not sure which he'll do, but I'm curious to find out. So let's go ahead and start chapter 4 here, and see what that brings us. Okay. I think everything's alright. Alright. Let's do this. Messiah, noun. In Christianity, a title for Jesus Christ. One who brings salvation to mankind. Savior, one who rescues others from peril. Salvation, noun. Deliverance from pain and suffering. From Kojien Dictionary. I've obviously mispronounced that, but okay.
ジョン・タイターは実にバカだな。
Okay. Well, that's his first reaction to it. Oh, hey, Daru's back. That's right, he needed to get his wallet. I scream at the absurdity. Daru and Krisu give me exasperated stares, but I ignore them.
この俺がメシアだと？勘弁してもらいたいものだ。人類を救済するなどくだらないにも程がある。俺はメシアとは正反対の資質を持つ狂気のマッドサイエンティスト法院教魔であり、幾多の修羅場をかいくぐり長年機関から逃れ続けてきたのだ。そんな俺が望むのは混沌。権力者を倒せば平和が訪れるとでも思っているのか。答えは否。断じて否だ。
Okay. Gotcha. Understood.
そんな夢物語を信じている脳みそがお花畑な奴にはそのまま死ねと忠告してやろう。権力の破壊の後に始まるのは秩序なき混乱なのだ。
あのさ、マキセ氏、オカリンは一体どうしちゃったんだぜ。
さあ、数時間前までジョン・タイターと熱心にメールしてたと思ったら急に静かになって、で30分くらい前からこんな状態。
なんか今日のオカリンって全体的にヤバくね。
Hey, Mayuri. Mayushi won a magazine sweepstakes once. Aw, isn't that nice? Amazing, huh? You know, the hero of Gunbam, Setsuri, I won an autograph from his voice actor. Let's do this one. Let's be a bit, well, it was all kind of obnoxious, but alright.
同意するわ。
聞け！そこのラボメン2人！これよりオペレーションウルドを再開する！
マジで？下に店長まだいるけど？
案ずるな。どうせブラウン管工房はそろそろ閉店の時間だ。
夜は電話レンジが作動しないはずでしょ。
やってみる価値はある。検証するのだ。何時まで電話レンジ各個仮の作動を確認できるかをな。と同時にダル、それにクリスティーナ、お前たちには D メールによって過去を変えてもらう。
過去を？
I still don't believe in the many worlds interpretation or Taitor's attractor field theory. Actually, I'm starting to doubt them more and more. If we want to know how the world works, we'll have to figure it out ourselves, and to do that, we need to experiment. One thing I'm sure of is that the mass disappearance in Akiba is related to D-mail somehow, as is the strange disconnect between my memories and everyone else's. According to Taitor, I have a supernatural power, the one I call Reading Steiner. My doubts about Taitor's veracity aside, I do need to determine if I am indeed the only person who keeps his memories when the past changes.
好きなように過去を変えろ。ただし、なるべくわかりやすい形でだ。
Preparations for the phone wave name subject to change are complete. Daru's eyes wander to the ceiling in thought. Next to him, Krisu shrugs her shoulders and starts gathering her things.
私は帰る。今日の実験結果は明日レポートで見せて。
待て。
When I grab her by the shoulder, Krisu nearly topples over.
何すんのよ。
そのレポートは誰が書くのだ。
岡部に決まってるでしょ。作戦立案者なんだから。被験者自身も実験中の書簡なんかを書いておいてくれるとなおいいけど。
Krisu glances at Daru.
過去改変には興味がないのか。あれほど実験に前向きだったではないか。
あんたね、昼間のことをもうきれいさっぱり忘れたわけ。私は反対した。
だが実験が始まってからは乗り気だった。文句一つ言わず付き合った。
妄想を垂れ流さないで。
I twist my lips into a grin.
客観的に慣れていないぞ、クリスティ・セレセブよ。
いちいち言い直すのよ。
実験はすでに一度行われた。この俺が過去を改変した。
うわ、オカリン、抜け駆け行くない。
そうではない。過去を改変した結果、お前たちは改変前の一部の記憶を失ったのだ。
Interesting. He's telling them, yeah.
今日の昼間のこと、ロト6がどうとか急に言い出したけど。
そうだ。
I explain what happened earlier this afternoon.
それはひょっとしてギャグで言っているのか。
本気だ。
マジっすか。
One good look at my face, and Daru seems to understand that I'm not joking. Krisu, on the other hand, has a sour look, but she's always like that. Why did everyone else lose their memories? Actually, did everyone else lose their memories? In order to find out, I need them to perform the same experiment.
うわっ、オッケー。僕一つどうしても変えたい過去があるんだよね。
Daru is quick to adapt, as always. We've known each other for a long time. He trusts me implicitly. Or maybe he's just being faithful to his desires.
なんだ、ダイエットしろと1年前の自分に送るのか。
そんなメール来てもダイエットなんかしないし。
Daru tells me he wants to change the events of the Ferris Cup held at May Queen plus Nyan Squared a few days ago. On that day, Daru got insta-killed by Ferris in the Rynet Access Battlers match.
その結果を覆そうと。
フェイリスタンの作戦はほぼ完璧に覚えてるんで、その裏をつこうってことだよ。うわぁ、僕って頭良くね。
Well, I'm very skeptical about this plan, Daru. Ferris is probably too good for that to work. She'll just counter his counter strategy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
まあいい。ダルよ、D メールを送る準備を。
よーし、僕頑張っちゃうぞ。
Daru hunches over and starts typing out the mail, leaving me to input the forwarding address into the phone wave name subject to change. I sit in front of the X68000 and take a look at my watch. It's 6:55 p.m. No way to know if the phone wave name subject to change will operate at this hour. We haven't figured out the exact window yet.
あんた自身はどう考えてるの？記憶が継続してることについて。
しつこいぞ。ゾンビの異名は伊達ではないというわけか。
意味がわからない。
ゾンビは死してなお人に襲いかかってくる。実にしつこいのだ。
冗談はやめて。こっちは本気で話してるんだけど。
Krisu's glare is scarier than usual. I might have wet myself a little there.
俺は D メールの送信先が鍵だと考えている。す
Interesting.
なわち未来からのメールを受け取った人間、その人間だけは過去改変の影響を受
But
けない
that
かもしれない。
but that doesn't line up with what we already know. Because the first instance of this occurring when we were in Akiba, when the people in the streets disappeared, Rintaro sent the D-mail, but he didn't receive it. Daru received it, because it was his phone in the phone wave. And yet, Rintaro still had the memory of what occurred right before then. Is Rintaro still not connecting the events yet? Yeah, here we go. Actually, that hypothesis doesn't explain the mass disappearance in Akihabara. Of course, I still don't have concrete proof that the mass disappearance incident was related to the D-mail. Also true. Also true. Because my thought there is that, we just had this theory presented to us about the attractor fields. And the idea is a lot of the D-mails we were experimenting with were too inconsequential to actually change anything. Now, the D-mail he sent in the mass disappearance incident, it went back, I think, 7 days, or 7 or 8 days, I think, and it was separated into 3, and it was something about. I don't think we still have it. Yeah, we don't have it in there anymore. And it wouldn't be in our inbox. But it was, a broken message. It was about Makase Kurisu being dead. But I don't think that it was even it wasn't even a whole sentence. So how was that consequential enough to actually change so much? In particular, that thing about the satellite that crashed. How in the world was that consequential enough to change that? So, I would agree here. We don't have concrete proof that the D-mail and the mass disappearance are related yet. I mean, the only other thing that would be is the fact that we saw those numbers, like we saw the previous time we did this. But I don't know, did Rintaro didn't mention seeing those numbers, so I'm not sure that's meant to be taken as some kind of evidence. So let's continue. We'll never know unless we experiment.
ダルの実験が終わったら、次はお前に D メールを送ってもらう。内容について考えておいてくれ。
嫌よ。
Krisu replies emphatically.
私は送らない。
怖いのか？
そういう問題じゃない。
ならば、タイムパラドックスのことを気にしているのか？
それもあるけど、どっちかっていうと個人的なポリシー。
A policy?
過去を変えるなんて卑怯な感じがするから。私がこれまでに蓄積してきた人生はたかだか18年だけど、それでもその記憶を改変なんてしたくない。
なるほど。今の自分は完璧であり不満はなく、だから変えたくないと？
なんでそうなる？これまでの自分を否定したくないの。たとえ失敗ばかりだったとしても、それを含めて今の自分があるんだから。
Yeah. Yeah, I hear her. I definitely sympathize here. Not exactly how she's wording this. I mean, certainly I understand what she's saying, and as I said, I sympathize with what she says. But in particular, this whole changing the past feels like cheating thing. It's something I've mentioned in the comments before, so not everyone has probably seen that. But with time travel, it feels I didn't really personalize it like Karisu here just did, but I definitely feel this element of some kind of unfairness or something that's arbitrary that is changing the past, and that makes me deeply uncomfortable with the concept. And there's nothing sort of scientific about that, or maybe rational. Maybe there is. I haven't exactly thought it through all the way as of yet, but yeah. But yeah, I see what Chris is saying here, and I'd be more on her side here.
電話レンジカッコ仮が完全に問題を解決して実用化されても使う気はないと
There is a fly. It's not a fly. It's smaller than a fly. There is some tiny insect buzzing around my desk right now, and it is very annoying. And if you hear a loud noise, it might just be because it landed and I took my shot. So, just warning you in advance. Oh, hang on. Dang it. Little son of a gun. Okay, hang on. Okay, let's just keep going.
ジョン・タイターがタイムマシンを好きに使っていいと仮に言ってきてもどの時代に飛ぶ気もないと青い猫型ロボットが机の引き出しから出てきてもそれを使わないと
I'm sure that's a reference. Krisu nods firmly.
使わないわ。
だが実験は大好き。そうだな。
好きで悪いか。
すなわち自分は高みの見物を決め他人を実験台にして北総へ実にマッドなサイエンティストだ。
あんたね。
できたお。
Krisu stalks toward me, but is pushed aside by Daru, who presents his phone with a triumphant grin. I take a look. At Ferris Cup, enemy setup, VLVVLVLL.
さっぱり意味がわからない。
Me neither.
フェイリスタンのカードの配置だお。見ればわかるだろ上皇。オカリンたちが疎いだけ。
Well, whatever. Preparations are complete. If this works, the mail will arrive at Daru's phone 52 hours ago. Now, we were talking about time paradoxes here. This could actually cause something. If you'll recall, Rentaro did the whole trick where he said you have to he has to play Ferris, and of course he worded the trick in such a way that whether he won or lost, Ferris would give him the information. Now if Ferris played everyone in a group at once, so maybe we're still okay, but for some reason I just imagined a scenario where Daru wins and our Rentaro's game with Ferris maybe goes incomplete or doesn't start, or something like that. Daru wins, and thus Rentaro is unable to get the information about the IBN 5100 from Ferris. That would definitely shake things up a bit, considering we need it in order to do all these experiments. So that's potentially dangerous. That would change a lot. Now, I don't think we're going to get a game over or something, because, well, if we believe John Tidor, then the timeline will still be able to correct itself somehow. So we'll just have to see how that works. If it actually causes something. If this works, the mail will arrive at Daru's phone 52 hours ago. The discharge phenomenon occurs normally. I closed my eyes to shield them from the lightning and sparks. The D-mail was sent. Daru should have received it 2 days ago. However...
そのことをなんで俺は覚えている
When I sent a D-mail earlier this afternoon, everyone else forgot all about it. If Daru's D-mail changed the past, then the present should have changed too. Daru should be the only one who remembers that he sent a D-mail.
過去変わった
Daru looks around in confusion.
ちょっと待て誰も覚えているんだな
え何が
今 D メールを送ったことをだ
Daru nods. Then I turn to Krisu. She answers before I ask.
覚えてるに決まってるでしょ。何バカなこと言って。あ、そうか。岡部がさっき言ってたことが正しいなら、私とあんたは過去が変えられた記憶はないはず。
ダル、お前フェイリス杯でフェイリスに勝てたのか
わかんね
勝てたらフェイリスの手料理とか言っていたはずだそれは食べられたのか手料理とは何だった
えわかんねえしょぼー
I check Daru's send history. As expected, the D-mail he just sent isn't there. I do, however, find the D-mail in his inbox. He received it 2 days ago, just like he wanted. This is the same thing that happened when I sent my D-mail.
もしかして過去は変わってないんじゃないの？
ちょっとマユシに電話してみる
Ukako, about Rainet. My Yuri-chan's obsessed with this anime called Rainet, so I rented it to see what it was about. I don't usually watch anime, and when I do, I prefer romance, but I found this anime to be pretty deep, even though it's aimed at children. I was surprised. P.S. I was so engrossed by Rainet I couldn't do any practice swings with Samadare. I'm sorry. That's okay. And we got an attachment here. Wow, okay. I guess we're reading this. Rainet Kakeru. That's Rainet Fragment, I think, right? Access number 2. On to the future Rainet formation. Completely engrossed by their discussion, Kirari and Tamaru raise their voices. Just what sort of person is Kakeru? Kakeru is actually a warrior who protects the order of the internet, a net guardian. Kirari and Tamaru wanted to tell their friends how cool that was, but Kakeru forbade them due to the risk that he may have to fight with the culprit. At that time, they received news that the mystery hacker Beesman has attacked an online game server. Not Beesman. Wow. Kakeru immediately challenges him using Nagaya-san's newly made Rainet card and unique browser AlphaGate, the first use of a new Rainet card. Despite his lack of experience, Kakeru successfully casts his boot spell. But just when Kakeru thinks he has won easily against the cracker Beesman, who has complete control of the game server, overwrites the game system, sealing Kakeru deep within the game's loop dungeon. That was a bit of a weird sentence. Kakeru is in danger. At that moment, somehow, Kirari and Tamaru also server dive. They came to save Kakeru. Furthermore, these two are well versed in this game. As game players, they couldn't forgive the hacker who had taken over their server and toyed with the game players, so they decided to join forces with Kakeru. With their magnificent assistance and Kakeru's shoot ability, they successfully defeat Beesman. And when they do, suddenly an unknown chat window opens on their monitor. It's a signal from the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department. By any chance, are they here to praise us? They think in delight, but the police turn to them and say, "You're under arrest." Wow, what a twist. Oops. Do we critique him for liking Rainet? Well, it's not really critiquing him personally. This is more of the critique right here. Let's do this one. He's the one who changed the past, yet he doesn't remember what happened after the change? That's odd. Well, isn't that what happened with you, Rentaro? You didn't remember what happened. Like, when you, I don't know, changed the past or transferred world lines or whatever it is you did, you didn't remember that you gave it to Lukaku. Lukaku had to tell you that. Right?
あ、マユシ、まだバイト中だよね。あのさ、悪いんだけどフェイリスタンはそこにいる？うん、いるんだね。じゃあさ、ちょっと聞いてほしいんだけど、僕ってこの前のフェイリス杯でフェイリスタンに勝ったっけ？負けたっけ？え？負けた？誰が？フェイリスタンが？僕が？あ、そう。瞬殺？そう。分かったお。
Daru's shoulders droop as he hangs up the phone.
その様子だと過去は変えられなかったみたいね。
なんで？オカリンは変えられたんしょ？
橋田が送った勝つための方法って必勝法じゃないせいじゃない？有利になるってだけで。
I had the same thought. Ferris is supposedly a world-class player. Daru's time travel cheat may not have been enough.
最終的にフェイリスさんが橋田に勝ったから過去は変わらなかった。
そうだけどさ、ゲームの過程は変わるじゃん。
Yes, this is where we're getting into the attractor field theory stuff. Because normally, yes, this would be something I would bring up and harp upon and be really concerned about. But if Tidor's attractor theory is true, then that means the butterfly effect isn't really a thing. If the change is too minor, it won't matter. The timeline will correct itself in order to reach a certain fate. So, I don't know. This whole attractor field theory thing is, it's a new way to look at this that is quite interesting, really.
たかがその程度ではダイバージェンスは揺らがないということかもな。
岡部が言うようにもっと分かりやすく過去が変わったって確かめられる改変にしないと実験の意味がない。あ、いえ、別にこの実験に賛成ってわけじゃないけど。
Good save.
いや、まだだ。まだ終わらんよ。
Daru starts typing another mail.
もう一度別のアドバイスを過去の僕に送ってみる。今度はもっと的確にフェイリスタンに本気で勝てるようなアドバイスだお。
And why didn't you do this in the first place?
そんなにも勝ちたいのか。
むしろそれほどまでにフェイリスの手料理を食べたいのだろう。
オカリンの答えでファイナルアンサー。
Daru writes another D-mail. I don't bother checking what it says. I won't understand anyway. I really feel like you should check what it says, Rentaro. Because even though I'm thinking the attractor theory might be true, still, as I said, this is the event where we got the IBN 5100. I think we should be a bit more careful with what we're sending here. We activate the phone wave name subject change and send the email through, just like before.
Oh?
Nothing happens. No discharge. Ah, it's too late. Usually it happens 10 to 20 seconds after pushing the start button. Timer counts down to 0 without incident.
時間切れ
So is it 7 o'clock or so when we're done?
おそらくな。
なんだよ、せっかく素晴らしいアドバイス書いたのに。
やむを得ない。実験は明日に持ち越しだ。
I checked the clock, it's just past 7 p.m. Looks like that's the cutoff.
昨日ホテルに帰ってからずっと考えてた。この電話レンジはどういう原理で時間移動を可能にさせているのか。
That's a good question.
LHC と似たことが起きているのだよ。お前は言ったはずだ。LHC は巨大な電子レンジだと。
電子レンジが LHC と同等の機能を持ってたら、日本は一家に一台ブラックホールになるわね。
それは日本沈没ってレベルじゃねえぞ。
セルンがあまりに簡単にカーブラックホールを作ってるように見えるから感覚が麻痺してるけど、そもそもブラックホールなんて人工的に作れるものじゃないし、とんでもないリスクのある代物だし、家庭の電子レンジがブラックホールを作れると思う方がどうかしてる。
Titor's time machine is small enough to fit inside a car, and it makes black holes. Well, that's what he said at least. Now I'm a little skeptical of Titor. I don't feel like bringing it up.
一つ言えるのは、電子レンジ単体じゃブラックホールは作れないということ。この電子レンジに何かが干渉して電子を注入してきているのは間違いない。
And what would that be exactly? An outside source of electrons. Yeah, what could that be?
さて、私は帰るから、これ以上むさ苦しい男どもの巣にはいられないんで。また明日レポートまとめといてね。
Chrisu flings off her lab coat and hurries out of the door. She was serious about the report?
ふむ、マキセ氏の着ていた白衣か。どれ？
Yeah, you can go home too, Daru. As Daru reaches for the lab coat to smell Chrisu's lingering fragrance, I grab him by the neck and pull him down hard.
どれ？ではないバカが！そんなくだらないことをしている暇があったら、明日の実験でどう過去を改変するか考えておけ！
Yeah. Okay. All right. Pretty low-key episode, all things considered, for the start of a new chapter. I mean, that's all right with me. I'm not really that far yet, but it is rather late. So I'm thinking I'll probably call it here. Yeah. Bit of a shorter episode, but hey, I think shorter episodes are alright every now and then, right? Right? Yeah. I do need to get up early tomorrow anyway. Yeah, okay. So, conclusions for this episode. As we discussed within it, I think this is showing that at least there's a bit more evidence to support the attractor field theory that Taitor has proposed. Rintaro still being a bit cavalier with the idea of changing the past. And he seems to really want to prove Taito wrong now. So I'm a bit worried he might do something rash or allow something rash to occur in pursuit of that goal of proving Taito wrong. But we're just going to have to find out. I liked what Krisu had to say today. Definitely thought that was good. Of course, very curious as to what Daru wrote there for his second message. We might be able to find out at some point. In any case, I hope you're all doing well. I've been the Warm. This has been Steins Gate. We're really in it now. And I hope to see you for next time. Bye-bye.